What made you transition from mathematics to tech?
I think I've always wanted to be in tech. To be honest, the idea of being called a tech bro sounded good. My PhD took more than 7 years.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah.
What happened?
Transitioning from research, crypto, then tech. I lost, I think, two colleagues before the end of my PhD. That broke me like twice. One of them was somebody close to me. So there was this hack that happened. About 900 million was hacked. I happened to be a victim.
Hello, Dr. Victor. I'm really excited to meet you in person. Laughing. We have not started and you're laughing.
Me? This is me. If you want me, this is me now.
Yeah.
So
all the people that have been interviewed, they say how you're jovial, funny, but
okay.
when it comes to business, you know.
I get business.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's a good one. I have that.
I'm really excited to have this conversation with you today.
Thank you.
When I was going through your LinkedIn profile, one of the things that stood out for me was that you had a master's, your first master's degree in applied mathematics, and your doctorate.
Yeah.
What made you transition from mathematics to tech?
I think I've always wanted to be in tech. To be honest, the idea of being called a tech bro sounded good from the beginning. Or somewhere along the line, cryptocurrency took the whole dream. And like someone said yesterday, the days of MMM, which I didn't do actually, but people trusted me too then for the integrity. They joined whatever it is that I asked them to do, and it related to finance. So I think people lost money because of certain things that I invited them to do, is that fund and all. So it has to do with cryptocurrencies. So that took me into learning properly and then building a community to revive my image. That means people lost money, then I had to teach them and guide them back to how they can make money. So for about 5-6 years, that was what I was doing.
Interesting.
So along with my PhD, so I was running my PhD on the side, publishing and doing sort of things, but obviously dragged it a little and made money from that. Integrity in place anyway, anytime, any day. And so I forgot the idea of becoming a tech bro through data science. If as a matter of fact, I think in 2016, probably the year after Andela came to Nigeria, that was the year Mark Zuckerberg came to Nigeria. I tried getting into Andela, so I was trying to learn Java as a programming language. I failed.
Interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't because I had a friend who was really supporting me during my master, so he was into tech already, and I was learning some stuff. So we've been doing some sort of coding within, because my research required that we simulate, so we had to do some coding in some languages, but it wasn't really the kind of core coding. So I tried to get into Java. See, I did not understand anything about Java. So if you knew, my email today is called Java screen, because all I was saying was my screen. The script was not entering my head. So it took me 8 years to go back into coding. 8 solid years. So I left it, went into cryptocurrency, and moved to UK. I'm sure that's another journey entirely.
When you mentioned Andela, that stood out for me as well, because there was a time I was trying to get into Andela, of course, not as a tech person, my own field. And for some reason, I just didn't get into the company. I tried the second time, I didn't get into it. I was like, you know what, maybe God doesn't want me here, you know. So when maybe you mentioned Andela, like, we have that in common.
Yeah. And I think, what's the name of Aboyeji,
the founder.
He inspired me a lot, right? Inspires me a lot. Because I used to have this idea around founders and things they are building. And I used to think they are geniuses, like maybe there's this personality or there's something unique about them that just makes them create something big. But the first time I listened to him, that was through Peace Eating's Founders Connect. So I used to watch that podcast there. And he was just speaking.
Wow.
Calm guy, nothing. In fact, not too English. He was a normal Nigerian English. Obviously, this guy had been outside, was in what have you, and all sort of thing like that. He still didn't change anything. And I thought, okay, maybe the idea of building stuff is not actually tough in itself. So I've always known the idea of, eventually building a solution. I didn't even just know how to start. I realized that the journey has to do with a lot of failure, trying, and that great things are not built from inception. You kind of know that you want to build something, you start it, and then it just keeps changing, building, fixing it, and then it gets big. So again, that's the second thing I learned from him. I couldn't get into Andela, or at least I could tap from the person who did it.
They found out.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. So, did you complete your PhD in Nigeria or?
Just so I didn't. My PhD took more than 7 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Again, like I said, uh, crypto one way. Also, I needed something challenging. I'll be honest. So when I got started my masters in mathematical epidemiology, I was in 2014. The year Ebola came to visit us in Nigeria. That's the way I say it. So I was curious. I wanted to join in the research and then to fix this problem. So every time I want to do something that is meaningful, tangible, publish papers, not just for publishing sake, like coming out with solutions. That's been me, right? Just finding solutions to problems. It felt like, okay, maybe the masters didn't give me the opportunity, but at least it exposed me to it. I was able to join in the research, and then also good. Nigeria was declared Ebola free that same year, that same year. And so I proceeded to my PhD. There was a gap anyway in between. With my PhD in 2015, and my master's in 2015, then started PhD in 2016. That was around the period I started cryptocurrency thing as well. So they were competing in a way. So I moved back to Iran. So firstly, every time you lose money on crypto, nothing is entering your head. Just know you can't study again or do research. You have to be fighting back to get the money from the market. What you lost, you want to make it back. That creates a gap. But the passion remains, and I love to do. And I'm not a quitter. I stay on whatever it is I want to do. So I'll continue the research. Sometimes blockers, you lose colleagues along the way. That sometimes breaks you as well. You're like, what is the reason for this? Why are you running after this? If at the end of the whole thing, you can still, and drop before the end of it. So I continued anyway because the initial search was actually sometimes about money. You do masters, you want to proceed to PhD, just for you to be able to get a better job, I did one interview for teaching around that time. And the woman was praying for me there. That's the principal. She had me, it wasn't a normal interview. She was asking about my salvation experience.
Interesting.
And I gave her the pure story, who I used to be and who I am. And she was like, I really want you to work with me. She adjusted the calendar and everything. Oh, so I ran back to school to meet my supervisor. I got a job. It was like, I need you to be here, not there. You have to be coordinating your colleagues. So I can't combine it too. I had to drop the job. So, to be honest, I never worked with anyone to pay me salaries before. That's a big switch, right? So coming into the UK to do your first corporate job, it was a crazy one. But anyway, so the PhD took that long because of all the in-betweens. And I think there were a couple of strikes too in between. Unilorry doesn't join them in strikes, but I think around that year they joined them. It took longer. Then COVID also added its own.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so added like another 2 years, and then they did then transitioning from whatever that's from, let's say, research, crypto, then tech, then moving, relocation to added its own. Yeah, you know how it is. You come in and you're trying to get yourself together, so you don't even care about any research for that time. And then there were delays. Couldn't travel back to Nigeria to go and defend it. So that added another few more, maybe like 3, 4, 5 months to it as well.
Wow.
Yeah, because I even paid for a flight and I couldn't go. So the flight ticket wasted.
So when did you come into the UK?
2022. So I finished my
2022.
PhD in 2023.
Wow.
And I think I was the first person who actually had to defend the PhD remotely.
And your supervisor allowed that?
Yes. It was
What
worried.
story did you tell him?
So they wanted me to come around. My friend who, the Dr. Isa, traveled down, and I one other found that friend of mine to move, travel to Nigeria to defend there. So they were waiting for me. I've tried everything to explain to them. I'm waiting for my visa. I can't leave the country now, so I need to wait behind. But they didn't allow me to wait that until when they discovered I had no option. And there's this thing, there's a rule. If you have been scheduled to present or to defend your thesis, if there's no reason, they can't change it or reschedule because it goes through a lot of approvals. It's a celebration. So many things in place already. They can't do that. And so they thought about it. They already had a place set up in the graduate school. They just needed to launch the place. So I was actually the first person they used to launch. So I think the representative of the VC was around because everybody were there. So my supervisor was worried. I was like, "You're not going to expose me just within the department."
Your world.
Yo, he was worried for me at the same time because he felt, have you been really studying now that you've relocated? Hope you are still in the game and all sort of things. But he was really happy at the end of it. They were asking me questions. I'll tell you what funny. So I think they used unpaid version for the Zoom.
No
So,
way.
so it ended before I finished. I was happy, like, okay, I think I'm done.
And they called you.
3 minutes. They sent me a
Oh
message.
my
They asked you to come back in again, round two. They were drilling me.
Wow.
Well, I was able to answer the questions. I think because they had non-technical people who were in focus on the mathematics aspect of it, and it was combination of mathematics and diseases, so it was epidemiology, right? So it was really good telling the story of how diseases spread, how you can forecast the spread, how you can copy, testing out how vaccines will work and different solutions like that. So it was really, really good, both pharmaceutical solutions and non-pharmaceutical. So it was majorly that. And then I started learning other things around that time. Then I think, yeah, AI also helped. The point that the things I've been doing this for 7 years, but it helped me to understand some things even more deeper than I used to. So the storytelling was really, really good. They all loved it. They loved it. And my supervisor was so happy he couldn't eat. Yeah, he couldn't eat because like I said, it's a celebration day, order food and everything. So
Wow.
he was so proud and happy.
Oh,
I mean, because it will be attached to his name.
exactly.
Now, oh, your student or didn't do well or something like that. And that was the first time they were using that room, having that kind of. I think that must have opened something to them as well. Because I thought about it, it's a legacy. If I had failed or didn't do well, no one would be willing to
Exactly.
try that again. They'll probably avoid that thing. And I'm sure they would have allowed many other people to do that, because many people were traveling from Nigeria. So they probably would just say, okay, I think this worked. Let's just continue with this model.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that was it. Finally, I said, oh yeah, I'm done.
Finally, you became a doctor.
I became a doctor. God.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
When you see people, because for me, even the masters I did, it's like a lot. And so when I see people who are actually going for their PhDs, I'm like, you guys really love book. I remember my supervisor at the time, did I finish my first master's degree? And he told me to start my PhD immediately. And I was like, no, Sam, I'm so sorry. I want to actually go and work. I want to work in the corporate world. And when I started reading stories of people who decided to do PhDs, it's a lot of work.
It is actually.
Like, it's a lot of mental work. I feel like so many people don't understand the work it takes to actually become, go through a PhD and complete it. Some people start and they don't complete it.
Yeah, true.
Like, I've seen people, they start and they don't complete. So the fact that you're able to start and you completed it, even though you had a lot of challenges, that speaks a lot about
I got a lot of help too. I must say that my life has been that way. I get helped a lot, and that's why I give back to a lot of times. I remember what really made it even took me that long was because I was ready to present my thesis, and then a colleague actually just said something, and it felt like all I've been working on was rubbish. And he just said something that this shouldn't go this way. I have to start all over again. It took me like 2 years to go back to it. I just asked the question, and if you felt this thing shouldn't be addressed this way, I think we should need to have this particular constant and then do it this way. So, once you discover that you don't want to go ahead with that approach, right, you have to go back and fix it. And in between the whole people thing, going bankrupt like twice, losing money.
Wow.
You can't even forget PhD. Let that one say. I'll be honest. But you pick it back again, and then just so you finish. Like I said, I lost, I think, 2 colleagues before the end of my PhD. So that broke me like twice. One of them was somebody close to me. And
I'm so sorry to hear that.
yeah, it was painful. He called me that he was not feeling well and sent him money to go and fix himself. And then by the evening of the second day, Alante's there.
No way.
Yeah. He slumped at the park, and then
oh my God.
So that also just made me forget many of those things. Like I didn't even care again at some point. I don't start to. So I think the courage I had was we pushed this together. and he really was really there as a support as well. If I stop now, then his effort has come into rest, if you know what I mean. So, because when I traveled, so many times where you need to go and submit something, people they want to help me print them out. So I had all my files even in the system and stuff like that. So I actually know. I think we got some of it. So it was really very easy. It wasn't like he stopped me, just discouraged me. But again, I turned it to like an encouragement for myself. Just finish this and let it be a legacy that okay, this guy tried and he got his PhD. To be honest, he got it. He finished before me, and then a few months later, it's gone.
So sad. Wow. Just in a way, it's a reminder that we need to live life intentionally because we never know when it's going to be our last day here on earth.
Yeah. Maybe leave legacies behind.
Exactly, leave a legacy behind, which we're going to get there. So take me back to 2022 when you came into the UK. How did you how was your journey when you started life in the UK?
I don't know how deep I want to go. I don't know how deep I want to go. Okay. Something happened before we came in, which it was the whole cryptocurrency thing, and now Nigeria was treating crypto traders that year. So there was this hack that happened. About 900 million was hacked. And then I happened to be a victim.
Wow.
But again, I think the second day they got to know that this guy doesn't know anything, and he said they use a word. This is I think is it the most innocent suspect they've ever had? Because I showed them how to trade. I became an investigator with them. So I was the one helping them to showing them how things work. And then so all the travels I was doing for the rest of the days were them traveling to go and pick other guys. And then I'm just showing them how things work. I was still trying to recover from that shock, the trauma and everything, lost money through the process, and obviously was vindicated, signed, my name is cleared up this issue and everything like that. So when we got in, it was COVID, right, 2022. I didn't get the vaccine like the first. I got the second. Yeah, I didn't get the vaccine. I got one, and then I think I was on my way coming back. Just dropped my wife and my daughter at home when I was picked up on the Monday. Yeah, so they picked my mechanic. They came to the guy. They dealt with him. This guy that I know, he's not a fraudster. So he wasn't ready to bring them to my place. So they lured me with his younger brother, who was playing a music instrument. And I was going to go and give him my wife's piano. So this guy were without mufti. I mean, with mufti, they were not in uniform. It was really like a robbery and kidnap right in front on the street. They were so angry. They were ready to shoot, ready to fire, and cock the gun and all sort of things. So I was like, Holy Spirit. That was the only thing I could say. Holy Spirit, my hands behind me with handcuffs inside at the back seat of the Sienna. So they drove me away. Felt like a kidnap for like an hour. So I didn't know what was going on, to be honest. So when we drove me to the nearest police station and started asking questions and all that. So it was really another season of my life, right? So it took me a while to recover from that. So when I got here, I was babysitting because my wife is a student with my elder brother, who's a medical doctor here, now GPS, left to Canada. So it even I was coming to the UK because I just do things on my own, right? But he got to know and then said, come and stay with me. I mean, you're going to be on isolation, so you can't even do anything. So, and you don't know anybody. So where are you going to stay? So we stayed with him for those 10 days. I almost entered depression because your life post PhD is not moving. I mean, so that time I'm not in Nigeria, so cryptocurrency, what we've done for years, made millions for me. Then, started a cement depot. I registered that. I was going into real estate. I started that. So moving here was I came here just to come and help them with settling and going back to Nigeria. I never planned to stay in UK. Wow. So when people say jackpot, well, I didn't come here to jackpot, to be honest. I thought I was doing well. Though we've been getting the signs because my mentor and others like, guys, just find your way out of this country. I think God needed to use that thing to push me out. If not, a strong dead guy will not leave Nigeria. I was ready to go back. I said, I'll come and be visiting you guys. But when we came in and then 10 days isolation. I didn't know what I was doing. All I was doing was cleaning diaper and all. So like, what's is it ended like that? Is this all?
Wow.
Yeah. So after 10 days, I didn't even wait to get out of Leicester. We moved to Swansea and then started staying in Airbnb, no accommodation, keep going here and there. And then I didn't work for like till April. Not ready to work. I kept on my mind. So I started crypto again.
Really?
Yes. And then I got to know that UK is not friendly with anything crypto. So
Mm.
I was doing well again. They blocked all my accounts, send me back to that. And I was like, okay. That was when I told myself, like, think enough is enough, you know?
Wow.
Just you don't want to try that here. Yeah, records are intact. You don't forget things.
Maybe God was trying to tell you something as
There, yeah,
well.
honestly. And it took me years to realize it because I think with crypto, I think say I was really looking at the future. You get it was just my about today.
Mm.
Yes, still with crypto too, we built people. Like we're able to have families, a lot of people to come with us. I can count 10 people in the UK who literally
Wow.
trade crypto, introducing it to them, learning how to trade. They move their family there, you know. So it was building community for me as always been the thing. Yeah. But there was no future, to be honest, per se. It was more like let's keep trading and making money. So it was just every day go outside, make money, train people, make money, train people, build things. But it didn't work that way. And crypto world is entirely different from what I'm doing here because it seems like a fast money, to be honest. The kind of money you make on a single day, you can also lose it anyway. So it was that kind of cycle. But it took me a long time to learn how to keep away, how to keep something away. So coming into tech, it was that same energy. There was this intensity that I gave crypto trading. You trade in the midnight, stroke morning, you're almost on the move. I'm driving, you're trading. Doing so it's like I work from home, so I had everything to trade 24/7 if I wanted to. Created another world entirely. In Nigeria, power supply 24/7, kind of thing like that. So I knew that it's going to be hard for me to, from that, start working for someone.
Interesting. I mean, I love what you said there, but take me back to when you made the decision
So
to actually transition
transition.
into tech. Because I know you also did a master's in data science.
Yeah, so but that was more like a short course just to transition.
Okay.
So um well, so when we were really doing this search for accommodation, I was still, like I said, I was still trading on the side, but I knew okay, this is not going to continue. So I was thinking of what to do. Interestingly, I was looking at real estate. I see rent to rent and all this kind of a thing, but I thought it takes a lot of learning and then maybe capital at some point. Then I overheard a friend, or let me say one of the younger brothers in the UK here, who also trained on crypto. Interestingly, he's on the accelerator now. And then he said, I have somebody who is in my house who doesn't go to work often, that does his tax at home and is playing games sometimes. Okay, what does he do? He said he's into data analytics or data science. I said, okay, that just clicked that for years before now. I've always wanted to be a data scientist.
Oh, wow.
Since 2016, 2014 during my master. So it's like I remembered my lost dream or ambition. So it's okay. How did he get there? Then he said Google, Coursera course and all that. I said, don't stop on that. I usually go and ask deeper questions myself. Can you set up a call between myself and this guy? Let me ask him questions. Like you said, it's not really a big deal. I said, what did he study? To know, that's the usual doubt to people come with that. If you had gotten to this field, there must be something that made you get this job. And it's interestingly, people knock off every reason why they will get it. If you tell them you got a job, they say it's because you have a PhD. If you tell them you got it, it's because you did mathematics. Oh, it's because this. They will give you a reason why you got it, why they can't get it. So I thought that way too, to be honest, for a second. What did he study? He said he did computer science. I was like, okay, no wonder.
No wonder.
But I went ahead and I spoke with him. He said, Coursera. So I started Coursera. Again, to be honest, I was going to do, I think later got to know there's a way you can do it for free, but I did the paid one. So they were charging me £20 per month. But that I felt I needed something to push me to keep on going back to it. So it took me like 4 months, it meant to take 6 months or so. It took me 4 months to finish. So I continued that for that period. Then it was in between I thought, okay, guys, just get a job. My wife did not want to work. I mean, I didn't want her to work, but she said no, we have to get something. So she got a job, and that really helped. We have to pay to
Of
pay
course, yeah.
money to pay all those things, but you don't want to keep, you don't want to stop the flow, right? So I think it was when I started feeling the heat that this money is going down.
The
This
crypto
naira,
one is going down.
this because I've stopped trading crypto and you are converting naira to pounds.
Exactly.
It decimated all my money. You were a millionaire in Nigeria. You're not more a millionaire. By the time they divide it with 2,000 pounds, it was going high that time. It
Yeah.
started going up, but it wasn't around 2K around that year. So don't worry. Every time I had to convert, the way I do at home, my wife would go out and say, "I'll spend everything." How now? How did you spend everything? No, I know we need this for the rest. Why not just buy what we need now? Buy what you need now. Because I have to convert again, and you'll be looking for somebody to
Yeah.
sell to you. If you
Exactly.
go to all those other platforms, which are now the go-to platforms now, you think about the price and you'll be looking for the cheapest one, which sometimes you get scammed and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, I think I need to get a job here. And interestingly, I think the first one I applied to went for the interview and I got it.
What job
Support
was
work.
that?
So as a support worker.
So you also did this support.
Yeah, so night
You worked in
support
care.
worker. A whole year support.
Wow.
Cleaning stuff and
Personal care and all.
yeah, it
Oh
was
my
so you
goodness.
clean even mess that people
Oh
other
my
people made.
God. Wow.
They will say a lot of things to you. And I think that I wrote something about it that the way you respond to disrespect is to go ahead and build something. You build something that then they would be using. It's like, okay, you disrespect me, but I built a solution for you anyway. So I every time I got it by somebody saying all those stuff, that energy was what I was putting into this tech. We must get this thing. And I didn't even know that I've been in it for a long time. Remember, I told you I've been doing some things around coding, doing some analysis. So many times we think we are starting all over, right? So I
Exactly.
thought I was starting until later I got to know. So went on, continue the Google Coursera. I was done. It gave me a simple test to that. At the end of the thing, we need to do one small analysis. I was blank.
Wow.
So all the 4 months wasn't useful for anything. That was when I started jumping from one boot camp to another. And that's part of what led to all this thing.
How many boot camps in total?
I used to say, I think I was in about 8 boot camps. Maybe not at
Boot
once, but
camps.
there must have been a lot of overlaps.
Wow.
Because you're on LinkedIn, you are seeing one person post one free one, then one paid one, then one free one, then one that is closing. It's not because I did everything at once. You apply for this, it didn't start immediately. You're already on one, and that one will start. So it will meet you while you're still, and you don't want to lose any. You're thinking there's something here you're going to gain. There's something there you're going to gain. Keep on going. So that was what led me to MIT. I said, okay, maybe I did not study in the UK. Probably if I have one international university on my CV, maybe that would change the whole thing. It was really good anyway. But then we're still paying in there. So I paid like 1.5 million for that course that time just to jump on it. I was just for some weeks and down to some months. And I told myself, this one, if I'm not the top, I must be among the top people in the room. So I went hard on that. See, that didn't change anything. You just start applying for jobs. I was scared, like, how now? I don't know this thing. Why do you want me to start applying? Until the last course on that particular MIT course, and I saw predictive modeling or something. When it clicked, I'm doing this thing. I didn't just call it modeling. I've been doing this thing for a long time. I was like, okay, this is what I've been doing for years, but I just called it mathematical modeling, not data science or anything. So it was that same year I started learning Python, which I left coding for 8 years, and I told you, and then I went to that was 2022. So from 2014, 16 to 2022, I was like 8 years later, I started learning Python. It was really good. I think that was where the whole journey back to data science or data analytics started. When I speak with people, they feel like, oh, you studied mathematics, you have a master's, you have a PhD. I think, like I said, I'm still on the PhD. So as a 2022, I finished on 2023. So like, yeah, I think it's perfect for you. You just go for data science. And okay, let's do it. But to be honest, when I was doing, I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know. And I wasn't doubting about like anyhow we'll stay on this thing because I didn't have any other option. Like I can't waste the 8 years, going to almost 10 years then of studying, doing PhD to come and end up as a support.
Exactly.
I mean, it was a beautiful job, to be honest, in terms of the opportunity it gave me. The night shifts were the time away from home that I just want to go and bury my head on this thing, do it for like hours consistently. I was doing that back to back. You go back from paying for stuff to anything. Yeah, you go in on debt. Now we're in debt for some of those things. Because you pay with credit card and then you hope you pay back and then the thing will continue to pile up. A whole year actually. Exactly, I think exactly 1 year when I started the journey of learning, boot camps, several ones. Up until 2023, May or so, that was when I landed my first paid job.
Amazing.
So in between, I did some volunteering where my skills were tested. So those were part of my experience as but they weren't paid ones. Not the first time I got the paid. And for 6 months, when I got the courage, I think that was from September, after I was when I jumped on the MIT program, I started getting the courage to start applying for jobs. But don't worry, love letter out the way. Rejections. For 6 months back to back. And every rejection will kill your morale, will kill your person. And like you feel like a fraud that still I don't know anything. Nobody's even giving me a chance.
I felt that way when I
What
came
did
to
I
the
apply
UK.
for? Internship, apprenticeship. Even the ones that you are not qualified for.
Some people say you're overqualified. Oh my goodness.
I applied for everything. Even when I would read that, apprenticeship is for those that want to, those that have not gone to school, I say, okay, but just give me something, let me start.
Just give me the opportunity.
Exactly, I don't even need your money, just give me the opportunity to gain real experience. So every time organizations or people that offer training that you call it real experience, you get there, you won't really find it. So there was a pattern, call it real experience, because that sounded like what you needed. They would say portfolios, those things are not working for me.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, until 2023, the final one. I then thought, in between, I think I spoke to like 15 mentors on ADP list. So they told me at some point that I think your CV is good because every time you talk to somebody, they kind of help you to improve something on that. And that brought my CV closer, but they were still not calling me. So I thought there must be something that is wrong. So I was on the night shifts. I stumbled on a live, a LinkedIn live. It was Brian Gollard that was speaking. He has over 250k followers on LinkedIn that time, and I was listening to him. He was saying things I've never heard before. He wasn't saying the usual tailor your CV to every job. No, he was just saying things like, no, you apply this way. I just connected with everything he was saying. It felt like he was speaking to me. I waited. It took about hours. People were asking questions. We waited on that call. And we were like maybe 5 or 10. And I asked him. Finally, someone the courage to ask. He said, dude, I love Nigerians. I like them, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then so I should reach out to him. I sent him a message that this has been my experience and I need help. Then he told me about the program. It was £900. Didn't have the money. As at that time, I told him, I don't think I can, but I really want this thing. How can you help me? Then he said, no, if you can do the installment one, do the first 1 month, and if it's not what you want, then you can stop paying, and then even I'll give you back your money, guaranteed. Felt like a no-brainer. I didn't have the 250. I could have just done the 900 with my credit card, but I was scared of doing what I've been doing before.
Exactly.
That maybe if I just would go and pay £900 and then it doesn't give me let me just test with 250. But that paying 250 monthly means it's going to be over 12 months, which is 3,000. You see the difference? Wow. So, but I had to, and trust me, within 1 month, I got my first job.
Within 1 month?
It wasn't teaching data analytics, like I said. It was teaching how to apply for jobs and interview. That was it.
Wow.
1 month after I got my job.
Amazing.
I got 3 interviews almost at the same time. If I tell you something, I've not even touched my CV. And I got the job.
Oh my goodness.
So all this while, it wasn't my CV again. After a time, it was me. I've seen brilliant professionals, many moving into the UK from abroad, get stuck in low-level roles because they don't know how to translate their talents into the UK business language. That's why we founded the London Center for Analytics. The aim is not to sell courses,
The aim is to provide that thing, that one thing that online tutorials or several boot camps that you visited or YouTube videos can't provide, which is the real world commercial experience. Because sometimes if you have been experiencing this, they will say you need the UK experience. And it feels sad, but I understand. The truth is they need you to have known how these things work in the UK. So at LCFA, we don't just teach tools, teaching you how to click Power BI. We put you inside real world scenarios. We bring the gap between the experience that you have and the one you are looking to actually the role you want to jump into. We teach you how to manage stakeholders, how to present to board of directors, how to turn raw data into boardroom strategies through our internship and accelerator programs. When our students finish from the program, they don't just have certificates, they have portfolios of business solutions that they can even talk about, some with metrics and achievements, especially when working with any of our clients when the opportunity arrives. They already have done the job. And so the confidence is there when they are the interview, and this is how they get hired. Not only that they just have the skills, they are also getting the right hand holding till they secure a role. So from the CV building, or the complete revamping to their LinkedIn optimization, to networking strategies, visibility blueprints, several mock interviews, job application strategies, and even on the job support. When you secure a role, that is not the end. We still ensure that you succeed in your role by giving you the necessary support part time. And if this is what you have been searching for, just take a second to imagine where you really desire to be in the next 3 to 6 months. Then schedule a call right now, free clarity call with no delay, and let's get you there. Also note that there are very limited slots because of the internship opportunities, and this only opens once in every 3 to 6 months. Thank you.
Wow. My mind, my confidence. You will self-defeat yourself even before you apply for the job. You're counting yourself out. I know a lot of people do that. This thing, I think I can't do it. When you check and you think this thing is missing, you think you need to match everything before you apply because you don't have this. Then tomorrow you see it's Python they're asking for, this other thing. So everything you don't have makes it look like you can't apply for the job. If you are not thinking the box 100%, don't go for it.
Amazing.
So I think it was my CV. Well, it told me that start with interview prep. But I didn't listen to that instruction. I started with CV building. Then 3 days later, you reached out to me that I've not seen your progress on the stuff that could save my portal. I was like, I'm working on my CV. He said, dude, I gave you a task. This is what I asked you to do. If you know you're not going to follow my instruction, you stop now. You refund my money. I'll refund your money, you stop. I was like, okay, no, sorry, please. I will go and listen to your instruction. There was something in there that I didn't know. Which was the mindset. It was the mindset shift. So my first training actually was from mindset to marketplace. That was what I called my first training when I used to train people. Mindset to marketplace. Because I felt everything was about the mindset. Firstly, change your mind. No one, there are opportunities. Never believe there are no opportunities. Never self-defeat yourself. Stop doubting. All those things. You don't have to tick the box for every job. Apply even if it's 50% or 60%. Just go for it. All those things.
Wow, that's so amazing.
Then it was that. Once I got to a level on that particular interview prep video, I just thought, oh, yes. So I got the courage from there. So I was just pushing out applications. All these things I was doing to myself before, I stopped doing them. And I got the job.
In 1 month?
In 1 month, yeah.
That's
a month
amazing.
Later.
That's really amazing.
And interestingly, we've recorded 3 weeks at the LCFA.
Interesting.
Even a month, 3 weeks, a month, we've seen that.
In fact, let's talk to me about the LCFA now. There,
yeah.
London Center for Analytics.
So it's also been a journey with that as well. So
what made you decide to start LCFA?
As usual, I want to help other people. So I'm not that guy that gatekeeps, and anything I know, I can't just stay beside you with you and not ask you questions about you. Usually, if we stay in the same room, anyone can tell that I would ask you, what do you do? And how, from there, if I understand anything around that space, I can give you an idea of how you can even do it better. And then I want to learn from them. So I knew that once I know this thing, people would come. And so every time I jump on a train, I'm trying to learn, not for myself alone, but even for others that will come in future.
Yeah.
So when I got my job, obviously, around that period, I started learning how important LinkedIn is. So I started posting. I used to be a very shy guy, to be honest. I can tell you, I don't even talk about my birthday. It was that bad.
I'm laughing because I try to, every time I tell people that LinkedIn is very important. It's just that a lot of people don't know the value of using that platform. So I'm glad to hear someone say.
I didn't even know I had a LinkedIn account when I it was when I needed it, I went back and I thought that, okay, maybe I did forget password. Maybe I just knew I had one password I always use. I did not have issues getting it back.
But I just discovered that so I have LinkedIn account
Wow.
that was not used for anything, so I started building it. It was from the MIT thing because they after they invited me as an alumni to come and actually speak.
Interesting. Wow.
So to talk to other people, they saw the energy, the way I would trouble the tutors, and it was the professors that built that course. So it was like you were speaking to them directly. You had access to their brain and how they think. So I was called back twice to come and speak as an alumni,
Wow.
talk to other
Interesting.
people, how I was able to study even with night shift and all sort of things. So it was really good. That also gave me that visibility. So people
Oh.
started coming to me for help. Then family and people around, and friends. So I just all the thing I learned from my journey, I started helping them. My focus is I don't want you to make the mistake that I made. There was no point going through all those 8 boot camps. Google Analytics, for example, say don't go through that part. Don't just waste your time. This is what you should do. I jumped on many. So by the time I started helping others, it was for me, just let's change your mindset. You have experiences that you don't know were strong to put on your CV. That's part of the mindset. Guide your heart with all diligence. That's my mantra. I just start with that and then I start to go on and on and on. A frequency illusion. So when I do that, talk on maybe programs like that, make people come to me to help them. Then I didn't even think of charging. I've been teaching for years, like mentoring for more than 10 years. That I never charged for anything.
Wow.
So it wasn't I was never about the money for me. It was not the money, it was more of the impact. So later I thought, okay, for people to be serious with what they want to learn, let them invest something into it.
Of course.
So it was more like if you want to talk to me, clarity section, just pay £10 or £20 to so that you take it seriously. Because I've had times where people schedule calls with you and they don't show up. It's like, okay, it's not a good thing to have. So if they pay for it, maybe they'll value it, and that also helped. And it just continued that way. And I thought I'm giving more, the timing. So it was just me. It was victoradekunle.com. They were going to. There was no Vividex. There was no LCFA. I think Vividex was the first thing we started, which was Vivid Explorer. And the idea around it was building a platform that does anything around data and majorly tech infrastructure for data. And it was for the future of Africa, actually, to build the platform that would be able to, harness the opportunities that we know that Africa is still coming up when it comes to the data thing. Being in that space for years, I knew we didn't have trusted data. I was thinking of building something around that. So that was what VividX was for. And the focus was to work with non-profits. And then, so VividX was on one side, Adekunle was on another side. So it was still me, the brand. And that's why I brought in Mr. Raymond. He was like the first person we started working together. Because it was to build the website and do all sort of things. So he was doing that. Okay. And then bounce ideas off him, improve the website, increase the charges and all sort of things. So we started with that. Later, CV reviews, interview prep was added to it as part of the clarity. So I think a couple of people were paying 1, 2, 3. Again, it wasn't about the money. It was just them being serious with it. Then I now later discovered that while I'm trying to fix the mindset, some people needed the real experience. Because you could do all you can, and some people genuinely they don't have experience, or even if you do, the fact that they've not done it for real before, it's a struggle for them. And I will never cook up CVs on what you didn't do and just cook it up. No, I wasn't going to do that. So what do? There's a gap. You now know what is missing, and you know how to build a CV that is good, but the information there is not solid enough. How do you build it? You need to do the real work, make the impact, and then quote it on your CV. And then even with that, I don't need to do a lot of work prepping you for interviews, because when you go there, you're just saying all the things you've done. It becomes natural. You're not forgetting or so I think that I thought we need to build something. So it was 1 month then, again, because it just clarity called to, okay, let's try a 1 month thing. So 1 month program where you're going through real data sets and everything I was learning in my company organization, like how things work, not obviously not the project in the organization, but how we meet, the daily stand-up, the way organizations work in the data space. Who do you talk to first? What happens on a Monday morning, on a Tuesday morning? That kind of routine. The Scrum, the Agile methodology, the Jira thing, and that we used to track the project and stuff like, which most people don't know that that's what makes you stand out, because they can tell at interviews that you have gone through this thing.
Sure.
It's just come naturally, because they won't need to ask
Exactly.
you how your Monday morning is. You're just talking about, so during my scrum, it just comes out freely. So that's the idea. I think this is what is missing. Not just working with data sets, but having proper stakeholders you're negotiating with, knowing somebody is challenging your analysis, connecting to a real business problem that solved something, and a solution that solved a problem. And that was it.
Wow.
So
And that was the bet of LCFA.
I'm telling you. So people actually got their jobs within a month. Then like to discover that,
Wow.
to be honest, I think it would be safer to make it 3 months, because it doesn't happen just 1 month every time. Sometimes it goes beyond. And so that was the whole thing.
So people come onto the program, and within 1 month, 2 months,
2 months, they get jobs. Again, the market changes, obviously. So,
of course.
and then you know that where people are on the journey differs. So people are closer to it. They just need you to fix the gap. Some, they might know the thing, but they need to build over time their confidence. So while you're doing your part, they need to practice and do their part. They need to be exposed to those things that will train them, and that takes time. So that's why I said the journey is not the same for everybody.
Yeah.
Some might need to build all those things they've left behind. For example, maybe construction, vocabularies, and things like that. Accent, deep one, conk one. You're going to work with them. I mean, yeah, I know mine too. Right? It's very conk. Don't worry. So when I go to interviews, that's the first thing I start with. You can tell from my accent that I'm from Africa. I grew up in Nigeria. So in case you can't hear me clearly, just let me know. I can slow down. I lead with that thing that you call a defect, so that I put it forward. Then there's nothing to feel bad about,
Yeah.
And that's really, really helped. They just laugh, and then they listen.
Shows me I'm laughing now.
So that's the thing. So for that too, I knew that we're going to eventually. I discovered that it was no longer me as Victor Adekunle. We're now having team members, especially the fact that the people that have worked with us, that have got the result, we're now bringing in people. But there's one of our managers, Mr. Femi. He brought in somebody. Yeah, he's now a manager now, but then he was on the accelerator as an intern. Both of them, himself and the person who he brought, got jobs the same month.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
that's amazing.
So he didn't need any proof again.
Exactly.
Anything to show. He was happy that both of them got jobs the same month. So I thought, then it came back. They want to give back, to be honest. People want to give back to this thing. They want to support at all costs. So I thought, okay, we're not more than myself, not Mr. Raymond, so we decided to build a thing. But we continued that way. It was Vividex, but we didn't put them on because it was Victor Adekunle. Vividex was a different company entirely, but they work at Vividex as interns. So Victor Adekunle is mentoring you and his team, training you on analytics and all, but whatever experience or knowledge you are gaining from there, you are using to solve problems that comes through Vividex's client.
Interesting.
That was the whole idea. So when you, on your CV, what you have is the company you worked with, which was Vividex. Do you get it now?
Wow.
So I think what made us come up with the LCFA thing, what led to LCFA was now, people were now, so we were facing the focus was on the experience, and that's why our most popular program, or what people come for, and that I love to deal with every time, is actually the experience part of it. That is not something you can actually they can't buy it.
Of course.
So you can go anywhere, watch YouTube tutorial, jump on any bootcamp to do the normal usual bootcamp, learn tools. But when it comes to real experience, it has to be that the people giving you are giving you access to do real work, not fabricated stuff.
Yes.
So, and it takes a lot to create that platform, I'll be honest, because you're going to get people that are ready to trust you with their data, align your intents to work on them. And that's why I do partnership with organizations.
Wow.
To create that venue.
Amazing.
So I have a lot of organizations that have access to, even our data as an organization too, they have access to it, so they work on them. So then we thought we are addressing this problem. Some will come on clarity calls with me because I really want them to grow. So I built a free bootcamp. This is me still wanting to give out again, a launch pad. I just added some data set. I never wanted to do a bootcamp. I wasn't after the money. Because I think bootcamp is very easy to just cook up something and then people pay a lot of money for it. But I didn't want a room filled with many people. Intentional people who want the results. Few managers, few interns, part-time, get the results, and then get your job. You understand? That was it. So later I felt a need for a proper boot camp. Because when I add people to the free one, they don't finish.
Oh.
And it's not me. A research by MIT says only 97% of people don't finish massive on open online programs like that. Usually because it's free.
So they don't pay for it.
And what you don't pay for, you don't pay attention.
Exactly.
There's no skin in the game.
Exactly.
And that was what even made me start making people invest into what the result they want to get. I got to know that all these years I've been, pushing myself to give people results. The reason why some of them don't get it is because they are not vested in it. So every time I shield them from pain, I'm not helping them. I'm actually even depriving them of the real experience and the learning. So I thought, okay, because we still know that people we are targeting or trying to help, our ideal audience are immigrants who are losing their images, struggling behind the jobs they don't want to do.
Exactly.
And they're looking for a way to gain back their identities. And I thought tech is a vehicle. And the vision wasn't, we didn't even know what we're doing in terms of the problems we were solving until when we understood how this night shift thing has actually divided homes, made people lose their health, their family, lost connection with their loved ones because it's back-to-back shift and all. So tech and data gives you the opportunity to be able to sit down at home, spend time with your children, monitor them. And this city, this country is like a place where you can leave your children uncatered for. So when we saw that there was a bigger vision, so we decided to say, okay, we won't chase people away and send them to the free launch pad where we know that within a month they will get sent out because they won't follow up. So we thought, let's build a boot camp.
Okay.
And so the boot camp came in. I was okay, let it stop being a boot camp. Victor Adekunle thing. Then that was why London Center for Analytics came into the picture.
Interesting story. Interesting story.
And I remember what I told you earlier about Inyabo AG. The ideas are not always fully formed from inception. Over time,
exactly,
they build into something and something and something, and then it becomes a big one. And
exactly.
London Center for Analytics was meant to be London School of Analytics.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason why I call it a school is because I think I wanted to redefine the traditional or the usual school idea. Because I have now known, by my own personal understanding of what I've seen, everybody I've tried to mentor, a lot of them, the people we're even trying to deal with are people who schooled here. So they did masters in data science, analytics, or business, or AI, machine learning. And when you interview them, you realize that there is a disconnect between what they are taught in school, what we are taught in school, and what is needed in the industry. And I won't blame them. Being an academician myself, or an academic myself, I know that the curriculums are usually built long time.
Exactly.
How quickly can you really adapt the curriculum to the new thing? With AI, curriculums will change every week. So it's possible that the people teaching them they actually also working in the industry to know what the market is asking for. So when I saw that gap, we had to fix it. So London's Center for School of Analytics is meant to redefine traditional school. So the whole idea is to build a new school that builds this curriculum based on the market. So we are changing as the market is changing. We are never using an outdated curriculum to guide people.
So that's the problem you were trying to
solve. Problem. So it's not the bigger problem now that, okay, then we just redefine school. And the reason why we didn't go with school, why we came to the center was, I couldn't really tell if there will be a lot of regulations around using the word school, where we need to register, do those sort of things. I just want to solve a problem. I don't want further delays. So we did our research and they're like, no restrictions, everything is fine, bro. What if it comes up later? Let's change it to London Center for Analytics.
Amazing.
LCFA. Interestingly, I didn't even know that Liverpool FC has the same. So when I type LCFA online, sometimes they bring Liverpool.
What's the biggest challenge you've experienced since you started LCFA?
So it is. I think for me, if I say the biggest, I think it's time. I'll be honest why, because working full time and still being able to, and it's not necessarily just because I'm working full time. It's because I really want to give people my time. if you have an interview, I don't think about it twice. I want to jump on that call as quickly as possible. And if it takes us 5-6 hours to get you ready, I'm on the call with you. Midnight,
Wow.
2 a.m., we're doing it. So I think that has been like the biggest challenge in terms of all the things. I would say getting people to also do the work they really need to do, understanding that what they've built in their mindset before were like, they were just imaginations. People have this imagination of what the real world is. And when we are giving them the real world, they're like, are you sure? And then when they start getting it, then they realize that they weren't prepared for for this work. So it takes time for them to now know that we have to balance it. They are running after sheets. We need to give them the work that gets the results. I'm never going to fabricate your CV.
Yeah.
You have to do the work.
Exactly.
So getting people to do the work is also another thing. But those who do, trust me, they get the result. So and that's why if you want to get into that, you don't bring in everybody. You work with people that are ready to get the result they're seeking and are ready to invest their time and energy into it. So when we are on the call and I can tell that it doesn't seem to be a great goal for you right now, maybe when you decide, come back.
Yeah.
But if you want it, we are ready to support you. Go anywhere, because trust me, the people who will help you, the managers, the mentors, everybody, they are ready to give everything. And that one I can say, they want to give everything. So it's painful when people want to give all, not just for the money, but for the fact that they really want to see the result. You see, they pick everybody as their personal project. Once they land roll, you can see the joy. Each manager, even the whole team, they are happy. I mean, I think that's been the thing that keeps us going.
Wow.
Even the weeks I'm down, somebody comes up with a news of getting a job. It just reminds us of why we're doing everything. Just one. So every month, I'm praying, God, I need a testimony for this month. Not for branding, not for marketing, but just for us to remember that we are still doing something, even though the market is tough. We pick the toughest part of it. Like I said, we could do boot camps and just train people. If you like, get a job. But we're saying no. We want to stay with you till you get a job.
Wow.
Not even leaving you when you get a job.
That's rare.
So our agreement with you is not ending until you get a job and you say you're tired of coming in. Even when you're working and you still need us to support you, like, okay, you want to bounce ideas off us, you're struggling, you need advice, the room is still open. That's why you have many of our alumni still coming to our meetings. He says sometimes that what they are learning, sometimes it's even not up to, what they're learning from their job, sometimes not up to what they're doing from their salary. Even managers say, I don't want to miss this meeting for me, because every time I step in, there's something I'm learning from.
And I can see that your team has grown a lot in such a short time.
In terms of their career.
Exactly. Even the numbers of people on your team.
Obviously,
in such a short time.
We are even reducing.
So where do you see LCFA going in the next 5 years?
Like I said, so we have become a workforce transformation organization, digital transformation, AI and data. So for us, it's like we're solving a big problem, not for just people like students or interns, but for businesses. Because again, the problem that is existing right now is that there are a lot of jobs and vacancies, but organizations are finding it difficult to find people to fill them. So there's this skill shortage, even in the AI space, and it's because the way things are moving, they are moving very fast. And I understand that by 2030, there will be a lot of new roles found. So what we are positioning for is making sure that anybody who's connecting with us are never left behind. So we are building a community, a set of professionals that are fit every time. So that's why I said our curriculum changes with the market. So we are building not just on basics alone, but even for the future.
Amazing.
So we're solving bigger problems. We want to come in, I would say to replace traditional school, but I really wish that people understand that they get to know later that maybe the school I went to wasn't really even, because what they gain here, it seems it just collapses all the journey for them, because this is what the market wants, this is what the industry is looking for, and then you have it. That's what we really want to define. Because it's painful to me myself, like I said, that we go through school and you ask a simple question, what were you taught all through? We teach you Python and statistics. Meanwhile, SQL, for example, in our space, is the most important tool. It's the top. Every time it comes out 68 to 74% of every job in the job market. And then you will see a whole program where it wasn't taught. Or even if it was taught, maybe just 1 week or something, let's give them assignment. You see where, so that will continue. So people will spend a lot of money. That's another painful thing to me. You spend 14,000, 16,000, 20,000 in school, and then you are done, and you don't know
And
that
you can't get a
you
job.
can't get a job. And then you have to now go through boot camps. You're not paying people there's here that they've been scammed. You get into a room where they have 200 people, 30 people to a tutor, and then they didn't get value for their money. In fact, some of them will say they were the ones teaching.
Wow.
The tutor.
I mean, I had an experience of one, and the truth is, I'm not going to mention any names, but I just didn't get the result I wanted. And I didn't finish the program because, in a way, it felt like a waste of my time. So I understand where you're coming from.
It's painful.
It is. And that money I paid then, I was struggling. I was an international student. You know how it is when you're trying to pay your fees in a new country, settle in, and you still have to bring out money to pay for something and you don't get the results. It's, it was really painful for
That's
me.
why one thing we say we want to work again. So if I would say, I think the reason why we are pushing is because we really want to save people from falling into those kind of things. Because when people come to me and they tell their story, seeing that they've made those mistakes, gone here and there, and then finally they are here. Now they are struggling between, do I want to really be invested? Can I trust this? They have to do a lot of things. And all weekend, in fact, from the first call, they're like, wow, this is the best decision of my life.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. They come to me, DM personally, say, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Wow.
And some told me in the past, like I said, if you had charged more for this, I would have paid more.
Let's go there. Talk to me about the different programs you have at LCFA.
So, two programs majorly, and it's built on this a system that we built, a framework called LIFT, which is learn, implement, and frame, then test and transform.
Wow.
So that's LIFT, LIFT. And we separated it, like I said, maybe into it, but the full system is LIFT, right? And the whole idea is, firstly, we want you to learn the skills that is needed in the market, not just the tools that you heard somebody say, oh, go and pick it up. So that's why every month, in fact, every now and then, every other week, we are doing market research to know the trend and the requirements in the market. So the curriculum is built, if it's from the boot camp, you are a total novice to starting. So the curriculum is built on the market knowledge, the market intelligence. What are the tools they are asking for in your market? In the UK, as example. So you learn the skills, you implement them on projects, so that you can understand them in a deeper way. Then the framing comes, because you can have all the skills, learn all the tools, and you don't know how to frame them rightly on your CV. They're not going to see you. Now, that's the first phase of the interview. The framing has started coming from the accelerator program. So the first two, LI, learn and implement, is actually like the bootcamp part of it. And then the framing and the testing that leads to the transformation is actually on the accelerator. By the name accelerator, is meant to accelerate your growth. But that's not without the basics learned already. So sometimes people are able to jump that space if they have been able to gather the major skills. Because we know also that most of the learning are on the job. But we don't want you to come to the accelerator where you'll be implementing real things. So the whole testing comes in. That's where your skill get tested. Because you're now working on a real business problem. You're working on a stakeholder staff. You're dealing with a business that you don't even know anything about. That you have to learn their businesses, understand your stakeholders, learn their languages. That's where your skill get tested. That's when you start to know, okay, I think I now know this thing better than I thought I did. And then the transformation comes in. But when I say the transformation is a journey, your LinkedIn, your CV, your storytelling, your interview, mock interview, all those things come. Even negotiation, because people fall off on that stage. Even how to talk about sponsorship, how to get it. Because I've helped a couple of people, work together to get sponsorship, even including myself.
Wow.
And I understand that
you're sponsored in your current job.
Yes, I am too. And all I say to people is lead with value. When we needed it, we really didn't have to beg for it. So you've shown a lot of value that they know, even if it's for a short time. This Kenny, remember her name, she got sponsored within 4 months of joining our organization, because she joined them when her visa, she had 4 months left on her visa. I mean, obviously it's a unique case, but there was something she did, and that was it. When she came back to me, she would say, the first time I spoke with Dr. Victor, that was the day my mindset changed. And I realized that It has to be with your confidence, your mindset, and then obviously other things comes, of which is the tools and everything, the learning. So she led with that. Getting the organization, you know, she was able to wow them within a short time, and she got sponsored. So then the transformation comes through all those conversations. Mock interviews, you have several mock interviews. If you have an interview, we won't allow you go without having at least 2 mock sections. At least. We must test your skill. And obviously before the interview, you have done one interview, which is pre-interview.
Exactly, yeah.
Because before we build your CV to apply for a job, you must know everything on your CV. That's the way we work. At LCFA, we are never allowing you to take a CV. You can't defend every line of it on your CV. You can't defend it at interviews. And what's the point?
Yeah.
It's your experience, not their experience.
Yeah.
So if you say you have it on your CV and you can't defend it, then what's it doing there? So it's either you go learn it or you remove it. So if it's a vital tool, we make you learn it. And that's the whole thing. So we have bootcamp and the accelerator program. Now we have people who might want to go for the 2 at the same time, like just follow up, which is where we call it the lift program, right? But again, like I said, I think the most popular or requested for has always been the accelerator. People want real experience.
Real world experience.
Real world experience.
Exactly.
The real one.
Exactly.
Not what they said.
I mean, I know a lot of people will be listening to us now, and if anyone wants to register, you know, sign up, people are listening to them like, you know what, I need to get on this now. How do they get to sign up?
So usually would want the LCFA.ai is a website you can go, and obviously any other thing you need will be there. But because we don't allow everybody into the room.
Oh, interesting.
So you don't just go there and sign up. You have to be interviewed as well. Which is like a clarity call where we get to know where you are. As a doctor, you would test a patient to know what the issue is before you start to administer drugs. People used to think they know what the problem is. So, but there's a need for them to always get into that room where they find clarity to know what problem they want to go and fix. Otherwise, they'll be paying for stuffs, or they just pay for what they thought is the issue, and then after they are done, they will expect a transformation, and it doesn't come because you've been fixing the wrong problem. So while you thought you are fit for the program, you want to be in, no worries. We have to be on the same page. Like I said, we don't let everybody in. So if you're in, understand that you find the same caliber of people, bright minds. So we are coming into a room where the people that are there are also going to push you. You can't, honestly, you can't be in the room and you slack, because these people are also go-getters. People have built years of experience in their career, coming from from Nigeria, wherever they're coming from, Africa, anywhere, and then they come into the room with that kind of experience. No, you can't be small there.
So that's why it's different from the others, because the others, they just put a link, the payment link for you to pay, and that's it. But LCFA, you have to interview these people first, know where they're coming from, or have a clarity call with them.
Exactly.
So that you know if you're on the same page. Try to understand their goals, their objectives of wanting to be a part of LCFA.
It's part of the question where why this and why now? Why do you want to do this? Some I'm just thinking tech is a thing. No, don't worry. Or some come in and say, I want to get in so that I can get sponsored within the next 4 months. I'm not going to fabricate stuff for you. I'll be honest with you. It's possible, but it's not what we are going to promise you on this call. So you have to tell me, what's your plan B? Because it's part of the questions you'll be asked by interviewers. So those things are important for us to ask you early enough.
Exactly.
And then if it sounds like you're not sure and you're not ready, even your time, if we see that you can't create time for it, probably because you're busy, we'd advise you to wait. And let's trying as much as possible to get money off you. We want to be sure that by the time you're done, you are sure that you paid for the right thing and you got the results you want. So when we give guarantees, we are saying we are going to hold your hand till you get the result. We know it's going to be put a lot of work on us. We want to be sure we are holding the hand of the right people.
Thank you so much. This has been really fun and educating. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your story and the growth of LCFA, why you decided to start LCFA in the first place. I'm wishing LCFA amazing growth. In fact, I know you're going to grow. But I'm wishing you guys continuous growth. Thank you very much.
I've seen brilliant professionals, many moving into the UK from abroad, get stuck in low-level roles because they don't know how to translate their talents into the UK business language. That's why we founded the London Center for Analytics. The aim is not to sell courses. The aim is to provide that thing, that one thing that online tutorials or several boot camps that you visited or YouTube videos can't provide, which is the real world commercial experience. Because sometimes if you have been experiencing this, they will say you need the UK experience. And it feels sad, but I understand. The truth is they need you to have known how these things work in the UK. So at LCFA, we don't just teach tools, teaching you how to click Power BI. We put you inside real world scenarios. We bring the gap between the experience that you have and the one you are looking to actually the role you want to jump into. We teach you how to manage stakeholders, how to present to board of directors, how to turn raw data into boardroom strategies through our internship and accelerator programs. When our students finish from the program, they don't just have certificates, they have portfolios of business solutions that they can even talk about, some with metrics and achievements, especially when working with any of our clients when the opportunity arrives. They already have done the job. And so the confidence is there when they are at the interview, and this is how they get hired. Not only that they just have the skills, they are also getting the right hand holding till they secure a role. So from the CV building, or the complete revamping to their LinkedIn optimization, to networking strategies, visibility blueprints, several mock interviews, job application strategies, and even on-the-job support. When you secure a role, that is not the end. We still ensure that you succeed in your role by giving you the necessary support part time. And if this is what you have been searching for, just take a second to imagine where you really desire to be in the next 3 to 6 months. Then schedule a call right now, free clarity call with no delay, and let's get you there. Also note that there are very limited slots because of the internship opportunities, and this only opens once in every 3 to 6 months. Thank you.